Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm based outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia, but my clients are all throughout the United States, and we help with all types of immigration matters. So that means employment-based questions. So if you're looking for a green card through your work, or if you have a visa or want a green card through your work, if you have questions on that, feel free to ask them here. This is a Q&A. It's just providing information because we all know that immigration is super, super complicated. And unfortunately, it's not as the forms and the instructions are not as user-friendly as sometimes we hope. So they can be really complicated, even for people that are very educated, lawyers even, that are not well-versed in this field. So we're here. I'm here. I'm an immigration lawyer, and I'm here to answer your questions. So I'm going to say, if you have immigration questions, go ahead and put them into the chat, and I will answer them for you. It's just general information. If you want specific information confidentially about your case, feel free to call our office, and you can reach us at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. My assistant, Ara, is not in the office at the moment, so she ends at 5 p.m., but we are open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time, and we can take your call at any point during that time. If you want to call us right now, please do so, because we call back all of our missed calls. We call back anyone who leaves a voicemail, so you have a better chance if you leave a voicemail to get in touch with us, okay? So definitely give us a call if we can help you with your immigration questions. I have some people here joining just now, it looks like for the first time. Hi, Irfan. Hi, Hector. Nice to see you. All right, great. Varun, hi. Nice to see you. I'll get to your question in just a second. Guys, I'm getting over a little bit of a cough, so excuse me if I take breaks, but I will be on for about 10 minutes today. Okay, so put your questions in, share this with people that might have immigration questions, that are confused about immigration, that want to know if they have options. And this is an opportunity for them to ask that one-off question. If you want a longer consultation that's confidential to get in depth into your immigration case, call our office 703-348-1663. All right, guys. Okay, so the question of the day right now is, do I have to stay married to an abusive spouse in order to apply for VAWA? Do I have to stay married to an abusive spouse to get a green card? So if you're applying for a green card through a marriage-based application, so that's normally called the I-130 petition, right? Your spouse is cooperating with you and you're working together for your application. You would have to stay married. You can't get divorced. Sometimes you file, everything's going great, but then by the time that you get to the green card interview, maybe things have gone south, your spouse is not the person you thought they were, and things aren't good in the marriage, and you are separated or contemplating divorce, right? So do you have to stay married? And for that application, to get a green card through that application where your spouse is cooperating with you, yes, you do have to stay married. However, all hope is not lost. If your spouse is abusive, right? If they're verbally abusive, calling you names, yelling at you, arguing with you, blaming you, putting you down, this can be considered abuse. And you can move forward with that green card on your own without them, right? You can convert that into a self petition, or you can file a new self petition where you are filing based on the fact that you're married to a US citizen or a green card holder, that you faced abuse through your spouse. And it does not have to be physical. And I emphasize that because that's what we think about. We think about physical abuse, but many times it's verbal and emotional abuse that's incredibly painful, right? So if you are a victim of that, you can file for that green card. You can get that green card, that work permit, that social security number without the help of your spouse. You can do it completely on your own. So give us a call if we can help you with that. We are at 703-348-1663. I see some people asking questions. Please go ahead and put them in there. Some of them are really comical. Thank you for the good laugh on a Monday. All right, so Jay has a question here. Jay says, my wife is economically abusive and she filed for divorce. She and I have already filed to remove conditions. What do you advise me to do? All right, Jay, you might have options, right? So if your wife, I assume that you are the person that is being sponsored. So you can still, so this is also something that you can do on your own. So if you have a green card, so let's say you got married, like in Jay's situation, you got married to a US citizen or a green card holder, and your spouse, you filed for your green card, things were going well, you got that green card, you got that 2-year green card because at the time they approved it, you were married less than 2 years. Okay, so let's say you got that 2-year green card. All right, and then by the time you file for that 10-year green card, right? But basically at the end of 2 years or close to the end of 2 years, you have to show immigration that you're still married, that it wasn't just for immigration purposes, right? So many people, not just you, Jake, many people are in that situation at that point where you're ready to get that permanent green card, but things have gone south with your wife, right? So things have gone south with your spouse. They're not going to help you. There are problems in your marriage. So financial abuse, economic abuse is one of the factors that can qualify as abuse. So you can still move forward with that 10-year application to move forward with that 10-year green card completely on your own without her if there is abuse. Also, you can move forward, and this is economic abuse also counts. You can also move forward with that application, that 10-year green card, if you're divorced. So what you would need to do is to show the government that your marriage was not just for immigration purposes. That's what you would need to do, and you would still get that 10-year green card. If we can help you with that, call us. We're at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. Hope that is helpful to you, Jay. And if you have questions, always reach out, and I'm always on here so you can hop on and ask questions if you would like. Again, this is just general information. Call us and have a consultation with us if you want to get specific information to your case where I can go over your immigration history. And there may be, some of the things that I'm saying might not apply to you. Jay says, thank you so much. You're welcome, Jay. Happy to help. All right. Irfan says, hi, you're from, I am from, this is what I like to say. I am from Connecticut. I grew up in Connecticut, but my parents are from Bangalore in India. I myself was born in Goa in India, and my family immigrated when I was 8 years old, right? So when I was 8 years old, so I spent most of my life in Connecticut. So I feel like when people ask me, I like to say I'm from Connecticut, but really I was born in Goa, raised in Connecticut. Parents are from Bangalore in India. So if we have any Kannada speakers out there, I speak fluent Kannada. Not that that's very useful because most people that speak Kannada also speak English. All right. Varun is asking, please adjust H-1B to EB-5 conversion timeframe. Okay, so the EB-5 program has not been reauthorized right now, right? So the regional center portion of it has not been authorized. So it can take several years, right? It can take several years to be able to convert. So the petition takes quite a while. EB-5 is very complicated. I'm happy to talk to you about it because I think it's super interesting way to get a green card. So if you don't know what that is, it's an investment-based green card, right? So you invest a certain amount of money into the U.S. economy, and you have to create at least 10 jobs that last 2 years, 10 full-time jobs that last 2 years, and you can basically get a green card. So I'm summarizing it here because it's super complicated. But if you want to talk more about it, if you want to get more information, this is sometimes an option for people that can, number one, afford it, but number two, if you don't have family, if you don't have employment-based options, this is something that people tend to think about. All right? Give us a call if we can help you with a consultation on that, 703-348-1663. All right, great. Lavi says, hi, Lovey, nice to see you. Shamika says, I have a question. Great, go ahead and put it in there. Someone, I am just a stroller, no hate. Okay, says something about immigration for dogs. I can't help with that, but that would be cool. Okay, Chumkilla says, if someone has, sorry, I think I lost you there. If someone did not have a lawful entry, what's the process when I marry a U.S. citizen? Tamika says, this is a really good question. So if I did not have lawful status, what is the process for a green card if I marry a U.S. citizen? So there are two options, right? So you have two separate options, and it depends on really the state of your marriage. So if you entered illegally, you can't necessarily apply for a green card the very typical, straightforward way. You can start the process where essentially your spouse shows that they're a U.S. citizen and that they are married to you, so that you have a real marriage and they're a U.S. citizen. So that you start off with here. Then, because you had an illegal entry, you can't basically process that green card here in the U.S., right? If your spouse is cooperating with you, you can't process it here in the U.S. So then you basically apply for permission to leave the country. You apply for it beforehand. You apply for permission to leave and come back. So you leave, process the green card abroad at the consulate abroad, and then come back in. Okay? And then come back into the country because you already had permission. So that's one way to do it. That's complex and it takes a long time. If there are problems in your marriage, right? If there's abuse in your marriage, and when I say abuse, I'm not talking about physical beating. I'm talking about emotional abuse. I'm talking about arguments, about financial controlling behavior on the part of your spouse. If you're not sure, call us. We can screen you and let you know. If there's abuse in your marriage and you had an illegal entry, you can apply for a green card and process the whole thing right here in the United States. So in about 6 to 8 months, you would get work authorization. If you did it this way, you'd get work authorization. And then in about 2 to 2.5 years, you would get a green card. And this is done actually without even the help of your spouse. If you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, even if you had an illegal entry, you can do it on your own without your spouse. All right, call us for consultation. I would be happy to help with that. Madam Shiad Ansi says, hi, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Anthony says, start your own practice and hire me as a paralegal. Wow, Anthony, that's wonderful. I have my own practice. I am an attorney. We have 7 people on our team, and we have paralegals and legal assistants and people helping us with social media, and a number of other people to help move your case along. So I do have my own practice. Thank you. And we have a great team, and you can always reach us, and we do a great job at looking always for client service and results. All right. Natasha says, if someone has an InfoPass appointment, do they have to take the original I-485 letter or an email? So I don't know what your InfoPass appointment is. So if the questions, if you guys don't know what an InfoPass appointment is if you have an application pending and you need to basically see someone or talk to someone at USCIS, you can make what's called an InfoPass appointment. So you can go in and ask your questions. So depending on what your appointment is for, it doesn't matter. I would take whatever information you have. So what documents you have to take depends on what your appointment is for, right? So if you're trying to get expedited travel authorization, you want to take all of the receipt notices, everything original if you can. If you can't, then just take the copy. All right. Madam says, nice to see you. Nice to see you too. She says, how long does it take for an interview after you get police clearance? Usually, well, you have to get police clearance and then submit it, right? So you have to upload it. And then once everything is uploaded, it gets transferred. This is the process, guys. This is the process for people that live abroad and are applying for a green card. Okay. I think I'm answering your question now. I think that's what you're asking. She says, that's not how I know you didn't answer my question. I didn't get a chance to answer your question, hon. I'm answering it right now. Okay. All right. So I think your question was, how long after you get police, how long after you receive police certification does it take to get an interview? So once you submit all of your documents, this is for a green card process for people that are located outside the country. Once you submit all your documents to what's called the National Visa Center, it'll take an additional 6 months usually to get an interview at the embassy, but it varies, right? COVID is making everything delayed, and different embassies operate at different time frames. So I can't tell you for sure, but I'm going to tell you average about 6 months. I hope that's helpful to you. Call us if you want to talk about your case process, if you need help, if they're asking for documents that you don't know exactly what they are or how to upload them or what the steps are. You might just want to have a consultation to get clear on what to do so you get this chance. You don't miss a shot of getting a green card. Okay? Call us at 703-348-1663. Naveen says, can someone apply for citizenship and divorce at the same time? So, okay, so you're applying for citizenship based on marriage. I'm guessing you got your green card through marriage and you're applying for citizenship. And now you're nervous that if you get divorced, there would be an issue with citizenship. So the green card, number one, the green card has already been approved. So you don't have to worry about that marriage-based portion. If you are getting divorced right after you got a green card, for example, right, there may be some questions during your citizenship to make sure that there was no fraud involved in getting a green card. So you might want to just have with you some documentation that shows that you entered into your marriage. It was a bona fide marriage, right? So you might want to have some documents to show that it was actually a bona fide marriage. Okay? Call us if we can help you. Citizenship, don't worry about it. If you didn't, falsify information or misrepresent during your green card process, then you're probably okay. Good luck. If we can help you, 703-348-1663. Madam says, I need to call you up. So many questions. My sister is married to a U.S. citizen. Great. I love helping people with green cards. I'm happy to help you. All right. Give us a call. As I mentioned, we're doing our consultations by Zoom, by phone, and in person. So if you want to come into the office, we're in Arlington, Virginia, which is right outside of Washington, D.C. If you don't want to come into the office, I'd be happy to see you on Zoom, which is going to be kind of like this. We share documents. We walk you through the process. And you can ask questions. So it's going to be very much like this. And if you want to do by phone, if it's easier for you to do by phone, if you don't want to worry about Zoom, happy to help you with that as well. All right. Rinku is saying, what should we do if we miss an interview and they don't renew your work permit? So call them and see if you can get it rescheduled. That's what I would do if I missed my interview and you want to get on it right away. Okay. All right. Madam says, thank you very much. You're welcome. It looks like we answered so many questions. So I really appreciate everyone joining me today. And I hope to see you soon. If you know other people that have immigration questions, please share this with them. It looks like I might have missed a question. I'm going to go look and see if I did. Oh, sorry. Neelan says, I filed for my husband. How long does it take? And I want to, expedite my case. Can I do that? Usually no, you can't expedite your case, but if sometimes you can always try. There's a number. If there's an emergency, a medical emergency, you have to have a reason for the expedite, like an economic emergency, medical emergency, then you might be able to. Okay. All right. I don't know where your question is, hon. If you want to put in the question again, I'm happy to answer it for you. All right. I hope everyone is doing well. I'll be back on. If you know other people with questions, with immigration questions that are interested to just learn about immigration, this is a good opportunity. So make sure you follow us on TikTok, like us on Facebook. We're at Agarwal Immigration. And so you'll be notified every time I go live. Of course, share this post with others if you think they might find it helpful. Anyway, wonderful to see everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you again very soon. All right. Happy Monday, guys. Have a good week.